If you've ever felt trapped in your brain, addicted to bullshit dopamine, like checking your phone constantly, playing video games, watching that explicit content that you know you shouldn't be looking at, weed, nicotine, sugar, etc., the list goes on. I know exactly what that feels like. At 15, I was anorexic. I was addicted to almost every throw of modern pleasure that the man is plagued by. I was suicidal and I was stuck in a cycle I never thought I would get out of. I was stuck in a cycle where my brain rewarded me for self-destruction. Fast forward to today, I'm a national level powerlifter, I'm a high level fitness coach, and I live in what I call a dopamine zone of control, where my brain rewards me for growth, discipline, and purpose. And I call the shift that I made dopamine zone manipulation. So like I said before, modern life hijacks your dopamine. It's designed to keep your attention where it wants it. And the result is that your brain rewires itself to crave instant gratification rather than any long-term meaningful accomplishment. Think about how dogs are. You can manipulate their entire behavior just with food because that's what's in their dopamine zone. And you have control over the dopamine zone. That's how you train the animal. It seems kind of fucked up, but that's what's been happening to us as well as human beings. By the social media companies, by the food companies, gambling companies, porn institutions, tobacco companies, marijuana companies, alcohol companies, everything, you name it, they're trapping you, they're making you addicted, and they're removing your control. And it's all because of dopamine. You feel tired, unmotivated, and depressed, not because you're lazy, but because your brain is fried. Your dopamine is all misallocated. You're only in the spike dopamine zone when you're experiencing useless distractions that are slowly destroying your life. So how do we get up here permanently? Here's where my concept of dopamine zone manipulation comes in. Your dopamine zone is basically the spectrum of activities in which your brain finds reward for doing. And most people, because they literally starts with them scrolling on their phone or hitting their nicotine, hitting their weed, or even busting a nut for some people, they trap themselves in a sort of a low vibration, or in scientific terms, a low dopamine zone. A zone that has a foundation built on destructive habits. So to regain control, we have to intentionally rewire this system, which sounds easy on paper, but is really difficult. If you've ever tried to quit a bad habit, chances are you've fallen back into it and gone twice as hard. But you have to totally recalibrate because once these are no longer in the picture, you're not even going to feel like doing it anymore anyway. And you will derive pleasure from delayed gratification. But you're going to have to suck it up because you're playing the long game here. It's not going to feel good or easy at first, and you're probably going to mess up. But if you remember, the life that you want is so very different than the life that you have, and it sits on the other side of regaining control, you will make it, and you will start to enjoy it. And for me, this was never theoretical. At 15, I had a BMI of 15, which is severely underweight. I was addicted to drugs, I was scrolling, I was gaming for 12 plus hours every day, I had never seen a gym, and I was totally out of control. And I literally did not get hungry because my brain's dopamine zone was so messed up that the reward of eating food, which is supposed to be active in everyone's brain no matter what, wasn't firing. It just was not registering. My brain would rather just rot in a chair doing drugs, playing video games. I was literally doing everything in the bottom of the dopamine iceberg you just saw above at once. But through fitness, nutrition, testosterone optimization, and most importantly, discipline, which is when you do hard things, especially when you don't feel like it, I broke free. Now, my dopamine rush only comes from hitting PRs in the gym, making money, growing as a person, and making genuine connections with real people. The same chemical that once made me crave habits that were destroying me now makes me crave progress. That's the power of dopamine zone manipulation. So I just gave you a bunch of knowledge, but how do we actually apply it? So the first thing I'm gonna want you to do, if you're serious about getting your life on track, open up a journal right now, pause the video, okay? Don't make any excuses, pull out a journal right now. Write down what activities currently give you dopamine. What do you find yourself stuck going back to? Most likely it's scrolling, perhaps you have a porn addiction, perhaps you're addicted to nicotine, or you smoke weed every day. Write it all down. No shame here, just be honest, write it down. And here's this big list of things, right? Okay. Now, most people think, okay, just quit, just quit, just quit. But when you quit, now there's the void. Everything that you just had was to fill a void. And now the void's just there. So instead of quitting, we're going to add a second column and we're going to replace something with each habit. So maybe if it's porn, it's going to be replaced with reading a book before you go to bed, getting some knowledge, right? About any sort of specialized topic. Maybe you're trying to learn something new. Maybe if you go smoke weed with your friends, maybe go call up your old group of friends that got into the gym and go lift with them instead. It doesn't matter what it is, but find a replacement for each habit and write it down now. And the third step is once you have all these things and you're practicing them, you're going to want to practice positive reinforcement or anchoring and amplification. You need to stack these positive feedback loops. So when you hit a PR, celebrate it. Celebrate it. Don't just be like, "Oh, okay, I have to do like celebrate that shit." All right? Feel the fucking reward. Feel the reward and feel the pleasure and satisfaction coursing through your veins. You'll know when you get there. It's more fulfilling because when you get that pleasure through your veins from doing something like hitting a vape or busting a nut, that's empty. It's empty. It's soulless. It's purposeless. And you feel that. And that's why you're shameful when you do that. You're like, I know. And it's destroying you. It's ruining your physique. It's ruining your focus. It's ruining your relationships. And you know that, right? But if you do something that takes 10 times as long and 100 times as much effort, like maybe hitting 225 on bench for the first time, have you ever seen a video of a kid hit 225 on bench for the first time and they're calm? No, they're fucking screaming because that reward is so much more overwhelming and so much more worth it. And it's actually productive and it's not destroying you. Do you understand? Right? This is what I'm saying. You have to elevate where your brain sits. Your brain might be coasting in a plane where all it knows is to watch porn and do drugs. And I was fucking there, right? If your brain's coasting in that reality, you have to kick it up a notch into the reality where it's coasting in is making money, doing things that actually fucking matter, right? Going to the gym, getting the body of your dreams, chasing your fucking dreams. You need to kick your brain up into the vibration of chasing dreams. And the only thing that should give you reward is chasing your fucking dreams. All right? Make the new zone addictive. You need to let this shit snowball. It's all about building momentum. It's not going to happen overnight, but day after day, you're going to feel yourself fucking changing. As you just wrote down everything. If you just did what I said and you wrote down everything, now the intention is there. It's there. It's in reality. It's real because the words are on paper. It's real. And now the words are on paper and you're looking at it and you're visualizing it. So it's real. This is your new fucking life now. And remember, it might not feel rewarding at first, but you're playing the long game here. You've been playing the short game for too long. Just remember that the life that you currently have is not the one you want. And that's going to keep you going no matter what. I know it did for me. And again, it's like the gym. You got to progressively overload. Maybe you don't knock all the habits at once, but you pick one. And that one, like we said before, is going to snowball. Okay, well, if I can replace weed with going to the gym, if I can replace the smoke sessions with going to the gym, then I can replace the porn with reading a book. And I can replace the video games with going outside for a run. Or, maybe I can replace gambling with investing in a mentor, investing in a coaching program. One at a time, but you're going to build momentum and you're going to not recognize yourself. It's all about your intention. And I didn't kick everything at once either. I mean, I was still addicted to nicotine and still caught myself scrolling on my phone until very recently. It took me a long time to kick those habits, but I still was jacked and driven at that point. So even if you don't do everything at once, the more of these things you knock down, the stronger of a man you become, the more powerful you become. And the thing is, a lot of guys get into this huge trap and they just think there's something fucking wrong with them. They see everyone around them doing better, somehow able to accomplish things, stay focused on tasks, and make something of themselves while they're just here sitting as this nobody, this NPC that has all these vices, right? And a lot of these vices are even normalized, but you're still going to feel like shit once you realize that there are men out there that are out achieving you in every aspect, right? And then they just think that they're broken. I know I thought I was fucking broken. I just thought I was cursed. I thought I was destined to just be a failure, and that was just the way it was. But I didn't realize that it's not that I was broken or cursed. It's just that my brain was fucking miswired. But once you learn to take control and manipulate that dopamine zone yourself, motivation stops being something that you wait for or just comes around or I'm not motivated right now. It doesn't dictate you anymore. You dictate it. You wake up motivated. You are motivated. Motivation is your identity. Once I fixed this, I never went back. I could never wake up and not be driven or called towards something. For most of the time, it was the gym. And now it's business, okay? But whatever it ends up being, you're going to flip a switch and you're never going to go back. But you got to remove first. I preach that all the time with my testosterone optimization coaching program. The first step is remove. You remove all the toxins, you remove all the bad habits. It's no different with this. You remove everything that is keeping you stuck in that plane where your brain is stuck in the low vibration, the low achievement, the bullshit that is fucking killing you. When your brain is stuck in that plane and all it can see is that, you need to break free. Imagine when you're addicted to progress instead of all that stupid shit that's holding you back, wasting time. You can't sleep at night because you got nothing done. You haven't earned your sleep because all you've done all day is chase mindless pleasure like a lab rat, that they're giving cocaine over and over again. You're no different. You're no different until you regain control with your brain. But once you take control, it becomes about your mission, your legacy, and growth, and there's nothing else. That's the life I live now, and that's the state of being I help all of my clients achieve. And as you can see, here's how it manifested physically for some of them. These are some insane transformations because these guys were super focused on rewiring their brain, learning better habits, and staying consistent with it. And now they can never look back. Not just with their physique, but they've all gone on to achieve great things. My client over here on the left went from being a kissless virgin, literally a kissless virgin, to he probably gets more girls than I do. My client in the middle went from being bloated and brain fog all the time to now being up 12 pounds on the scale and leaner and way more mental clarity. He has his own business with Christian Men Seeking Discipline, which is ripping right now. And my client on the right literally makes more money than I do, more money than probably my friend group does combined. And he's ultra successful, ultra focused, and he has a body that he actually likes to live in. But like I said, this is literally the foundation of my entire system. You have to remove what's killing you and replace it with what builds you. Dopamine zone manipulation is how you break free and rewire your brain. If you want me to help you build your own zone of control with training, diet, and testosterone optimization protocols and relentless accountability, because I will not let you fucking fail. Or if you're just curious on how I boosted my testosterone from 500 to 1150 nanograms per deciliter, check out my channel or my Instagram down below for more information.